How goes it all? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Today's topic, I will be talking about Kobe Bryant and how he leaves behind his family a business empire. I think that's one good thing to talk about. And another beautiful thing is, outside of this unfortunate death, I learned a lot more about Kobe Bryant and how much he donated to various charities, from Darfur to in China, across the United States, so very charitable guy and person all at the same time. And always remember, when you do great in life, it's always nice to give back, because when you give back, you'll get something back tenfold. And even if you don't, the feeling of being able to give back to people is a beautiful thing. So with the unfortunate death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi and others dying in a helicopter, as you see, because we cannot forget them as well. These were people and they had families and friends, and I'm sure they definitely missed them as much as Kobe and his wife and kids and friends and family miss Kobe and his daughter Gigi. So, I will say that not only does his legacy live on through his family, his great family, but Mr. Bryant was a very smart, successful off the basketball court, and that's just something that I don't think was ever really highlighted enough when he was alive, and I think that's a shame. So we're going to highlight that today. Mr. Kobe Bryant was a known, respected, successful businessman, building successful brands as an investor. He's a coach / mentor to other athletes and company founder, the whole nine. I definitely think that this is something that needs to be highlighted all at the same time. I've said this before, and I will say it again, and probably till the day that I die. We all go through seasons in our life, and basketball was a great, but wasn't the only season in Mr. Bryant's life. Mr. Bryant played basketball for 20 seasons. Insane. With the attitude, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. With money on my mind, I could never get enough. I had to throw my favorite little motivational song in there. Another great thing is that Mr. Bryant was generous with the wisdom he acquired and saw it as his mission to share with future generation of basketball players. And that is the smart thing to do, because when you're successful, you do not need to share your wealth, but you definitely need to share information so that others can become successful. And that's what I'm all about. And I definitely appreciate that when others that are in the position that I want to be in, other successful people, they share their experiences and their knowledge with me. I am internally grateful for that, because they don't have to do that. So when somebody does that for you, be grateful. If you have information that can help other people, share it with them. Don't just hold it in and whatnot like it's in a sardine can or anything of that nature. You don't have to always share the wealth, but share the information so that others can obtain the wealth. That's all I'm saying. Because that's how you offer hand ups and not offering handouts. Okay? So the article that I was actually reading today about Mr. Bryant, that I came across, mentioned that his businesses and investments and endorsements, were out of this world. And in 2016, Bryant founded Granity Studios, a media company, which is very smart, especially with him living in a place like Los Angeles where media is big, that focuses on creative storytelling around sports. Through this company, the basketball star wrote a narrative short film called Dear Basketball. I think it's pretty cool, which won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film in 2018. And from what I read, the company was basically out there for children and whatnot, which is great. He had a lot of children, obviously loved helping children, and how basketball changed his life. And I know he knew that with the right direction and the right talent, that basketball could change the lives of others, not just on the court, but off the court, So I think it's pretty cool, especially, Granity, the company, has also released a set of books for young adults, along with Bryant's autobiography, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play. Another aspect of Mr. Bryant's investment portfolio was that he signed a deal with Nike back in 2003. Mr. Bryant also was very, very smart, because he diversified his career by breaking into the investing world even before leaving the NBA, which is a very smart thing to do. In 2013, he co-founded a venture capital firm, Bryant Siptel, along with Web.com founder Jeff Stipler. That is very great, because he ensured that he himself after life on the basketball court. Kind of like he ensured that he was going to have a great life after life on the basketball court. Kind of like Marshawn Lynch is doing now, and I hope and keep up the great work. He's basically saving he hasn't spent a single cent of his NFL salary, and he lives off his endorsements. And he's buying up commercial real estate in the Bay Area in Oakland, where he comes from, to kind of ward off gentrification. And I think that's smart. And I will say this too, because I love Los Angeles and that's my town. I will say to the stars in LA and the surrounding areas, you need to start buying up real estate in places like Compton, Crenshaw, Watts, Slauson and Crenshaw, the whole nine, because everybody knows that area is being gentrified right now. Okay, and if you're in a position like a Kobe Bryant, like a D.L. Hughley, yes, I'm calling out names. I'm not saying anything derogatory or negative, but I am saying that it is in, the Dr. Dre's, the Snoop Dogg's, etc. It is in your best interest to buy people that are of your status to buy commercial real estate in those areas, because that's how you stop gentrification. The people with money buy these assets and whatnot and keep them in their name and their business names and whatnot. But, that's just a sidebar. This is really about Kobe Bryant and what he's been doing. But I will say I respect people like Marshawn Lynch, just like I respect Kobe Bryant, for buying up properties in their communities, because that's the only way you stop something from happening. You buy it, you own it. He or she who owns makes the call. So something to think about, celebrities. That's just my 2 cents on that. I'm off my soapbox. All right, and another thing is, Kobe Bryant having a venture capital firm, I think that's awesome, because given the fact that when you have a venture capital firm and you can help other, it's kind of like, in a sense, if you think about the Shark Tank, you're investing in other people's companies, helping their dreams come true, and basically you're investing into other entrepreneurs. So to reach that kind of status, you should be commendable. I am commendable, period. Because that's just something that's not talked about enough, in my personal opinion. Okay. Now, by creating his venture capital company, Mr. Bryant followed the model of a select number of other sports legends who have been able to transform, their skills develop on the court into business success. And for somebody that was a winner like Kobe Bryant, just like a Magic Johnson and whatnot, and a Michael Jordan, they had a winner's mentality, so they're not going to just fall into a place where in a circle of people that don't have a winner's mentality. Excuse me. NBA Hall of Fame point guard Irvin Mr. Magic Johnson was among the first in 1987 when he founded an investment firm, Magic Johnson Enterprises, which invested in a number of sizable businesses, including Starbucks and New York's LaGuardia Airport. And I always find Magic Johnson's story to be very, very interesting, because he comes from humble beginnings in Michigan, and he's another person that does a great job of investing, and he inspires us all at the same time. And I would hope that I believe he does live in California, so I would hope that he would buy commercial real estate within the South Los Angeles area and whatnot. But that's just a personal opinion. Back to Mr. Bryant. I keep getting on that tangent. Now, to this day, Mr. Bryant's firm has more than about $2 billion in assets. So he's basically left his family with $2 billion in assets. Should be commendable on that one. Okay. With investments in dozens of technology, which is very smart, media and data companies, which is very smart, Mr. Bryant and Steebles, they claim at least 10 successful exits, including Dell and Alibaba. The company also has investments in Fortnite, creator Epic Games, digital payment company, all that good stuff. Kalma, Cardinal and household products firm, the Honest Company. Mr. Bryant's brand put out multiple lines of Kobe shoes and gear. So as you can see, he had a multitude of investments to the point where we know he didn't have to have a job again, but he definitely he was creating his empire. He was just getting started. That's why this is so sad. He has his own multiple lines of gear. In 2017, the company brought Bryant on stage, in this company being Nike, on stage with the CEO Mark Parker at the time at its annual investor meeting to celebrate the launch of Nike's new business strategy. Nike's partnered with Bryant and the Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club to launch a youth basketball league called the Mamba League in 2017. To basically give hundreds of kids free access to sports. Mr. Bryant later created the Mamba Sports Academy to provide broader athletic lifestyle training to competitors at all levels in a number of sports. Fortunately, Mr. Bryant was on his way to a Mamba Sports Academy game Sunday when the helicopter crashed. And this is, and unfortunately he died going to something that he believed in, giving back to his community. It's kind of like in the sense with Nipsey Hussle dying in this community, being murdered in this community, in a place that he loved so much and a place he worked so hard to buy and whatnot, because commercial real estate, that's a big freaking deal. So, but I digress. So, it's like I said, when I talk about it, it's just sad because I love to see people do great, and when they die for no matter what reason, it's just saddening. So and I leave it at that. One thing that I liked about Mr. Bryant is, since he grew up in multiple countries, and with that upbringing, he had an international perspective. He spoke multiple languages. I know he spoke Italian, Spanish, and he was learning Mandarin Chinese as well. Because I found out recently that he did a lot in China from a sports league perspective and donating to social programs in China to help the youth not starve and to get into more extracurricular activities, the best way to put it, positive activities. Mr. Bryant was involved in NBA's efforts to expand its audience beyond the United States, like I stated earlier, particularly in China. In 2015, he worked with the Alibaba Group to release the Basketball Stars documentary, Kobe Bryant's Muse, through its T-Mall Magic Box TV in China. He was also involved working with Bryant to create a new social media platform, bringing new avenues of connecting China's young people directly to Kobe and his philosophies, according to a press release from Alibaba announcing the partnership. Additionally, the company sells a number of Kobe branded products on its retail platform. Talk about big business, family. Mr. Bryant also had endorsement deals with a number of other brands throughout his career, including McDonald's, Sprint, Nintendo, and Turkish Airlines. So the man was, diversification. That's what investing is all about. And I know a lot more people could have learned from him and how he invested and how he helped people and wanted to help people do good. He could have just been that person to live in Calabasas, not care about working people, not donate, not create programs. But no, this man actually cared. So that's what makes it even more sadder, when you think about it. It's the same thing, like I said, with Nipsey Hussle. He cared. I was in LA, I got to go to a taco company. If you're ever in Los Angeles, go to Taco Mill. That was because of people like Nipsey Hussle and YG, that place was able to open. Young black man business. So, you have to diversify yourself when it comes to assets in life in order to make things happen and to ensure you do not only have to be beholden to a job, and if the unfortunate occurs like it did for Kobe Bryant, his daughter and his daughter, and everyone else that passed away a few days ago. You want to be in a position to where you leave your family in a better place than they were in the beginning or when you passed away. And I was I'm reading the book. I'm almost finished with it. Kevin O'Leary from the Shark Tank. Men, women, money, etc. and whatnot. Great book. I definitely have to read it again. But the book is ending off in its stating, spoiler alert, that when it comes to your elder years, you want to if you're not filthy stinking rich, but even so, he states, and this is coming from a rich man, that you want to downsize your life because you want to have as least amount of debts as possible. You don't want to be a burden if you can help it on your children, and you want to look at you want to basically be in a position to where you could still save money and whatnot. Okay, and he said one thing that his grandmother taught him the principles of investing. And when she died, she had a lot of money stashed away tied up in her investments, so that everything was taken care of. And you want to be close to that position yourself. Get life insurance if need be. Definitely buy stocks and bonds. Buy gold. Buy whatever you can. Have savings. It's life or death situations we're talking about here, okay? And you can't take this for granted, all right? So, anyways, I digress. If you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share. Definitely please subscribe. Check out the online store if you need any specific retail products. Check out my gold care bars when it comes to different investments. It's free to sign up. Sign up as an affiliate. And, you can change your life before you know it, with the right mindset and the right people around you. So anyways, hopefully you guys have a great day. And either way you look at it, this is a sad state of affairs. Take care.